Okay, so Norwich City, one of the teams which I believe has had one of the best transfer windows they could have possibly had. They've signed quite a few players, and quite a few top-rated players, I believe at least. So I'm going to start with the players they've let go first, and then talk about the players they've brought in a bit. So they've let go of Chris Martin, the striker, Simeon Jackson, the winger, Lee Camp has gone to West Brom, the goalkeeper. Now they've still got Ruddy in goal. They've signed a goalkeeper, but I believe Lee Camp was brilliant backup for the Premier League. They've dropped the ball letting him go. Mark Tierney, Elliot Ward, Tom Ayadi, Jed Steer, James Vaughan. Now they brought in James Vaughan last year when they first got promoted from Everton to try and help them stay up and try and get goals. He didn't play anywhere near as many games as he was expecting, I don't think, because of Grant Holt's form. So he's now gone out. Grant Holt himself has left, and that shows because they brought in strikers. Norwich legend, going from League One to the Premier League with them, scoring over 100 goals in the process. I'm sure Norwich fans are sad to see him go, but I'm sure you're also excited at the talent you've brought in on the same level. Andrew Sermon's gone out on loan. I'm a big fan of Andrew Sermon. I've been watching him since he was at Southampton, and he was a top-rated young left midfielder in his day. He's not really improved now that he's 24, 25 years old, but I still rate him. Leon Bennett and Jacob Butterfield are the other two to leave. Lots of players going out, not a lot of money coming in for those players, but you've shipped out a lot of players that were Championship quality and got in a load of players who I believe are Premier League quality. So if we move on to them now, I'm going to start with the most expensive, Ricky van Wolfswinkel. Now, I rate this guy extremely highly. I've watched him since he was at Herveen in the Dutch league. He moved to Sporting Lisbon for about £6 million and made huge impact there. He's a tall, dead-eye striker whose accuracy is brilliant and work rates are right up there with the best of them. In a window where Dwight Gale has moved for £8.5 million and Andreas Coriolanus has moved to Cardiff for... Dwight Gale moved to Crystal Palace, and Andreas Coriolanus has moved to Cardiff for £7.5 million. £8.5 million for Ricky van Wolfswinkel is a brilliant deal, and he's already showing his class in pre-season. If we keep going down, Gary Hooper, absolutely brilliant signing. I believe he's an England striker. When Jermaine Defoe turns 32, this guy will be a brilliant replacement for him. They play extremely similarly, so I'm looking forward to see Gary Hooper in the Premier League. Noid Fur, FC20 for £4.5 million, another really good signing. He's a busy midfielder who gets all over the place. He's good in defence, nipping the ball off of the opponent's attackers. He's good in attack himself, finding a goal from the edge of the box. Everton wanted to sign him last January for £7 to £8 million. He failed a medical. That might be the reason why he's moved for £4.5 to Norwich now, but I think he's a good signing and I think he's going to make a great impact for them. If we go down the list, Nathan Redmond for £3.2 million, another great signing. Future England international. He's as quick as anything, Nathan Redmond. He can play on the left and the right. I honestly believe if Snodgrass leaves and goes to an Everton or a Newcastle, moves up the table, which there is talk about him doing in January, Redmond is a perfect replacement off the bat. Javier Garrido comes in from Liaison, left back. He was there on loan last year. I wasn't overly impressed with him, but he's a good enough player for the Premier League, that's for sure. Javier Garrido comes in. I've just said that, haven't I? Martin Olsen comes in from Blackburn as well. He's another left back. Again, he's got experience in the Premier League. I believe he's good enough to play in the Premier League, so another good signing from Norwich. Carlo Nash is the goalkeeper that's come in to replace Lee Camp. Now, Norwich have got three good goalkeepers anyway. They've got, obviously, John Ruddy. They've got Mark Bunn and Declan Rudd. All three of those are good goalkeepers. Bunn and Rudd step in whenever Ruddy's injured. Carlo Nash is 38 now, never really played more than 100 games in his career that I can remember, so it's a little bit of a sideways signing, but I'm sure he's still happy to have a contract. And finally, Johan Elmander comes in from Galatasaray on loan. The third striker they've brought in. They've sold a few, as I said before in this video, but Elmander, Premier League experience, Bolton signed him for 9 million quid, so clearly there's some sort of talent there. Galatasaray, not a small club either, so I look forward to seeing him play a few games. Anyway, Norwich I think have done a really good job this year. They only maybe need to improve their defence a little bit now, as Basong and Turner in the centre of defence. Vast experience, but not a lot of movement there. So I think they've done really well. Maybe need to improve a little bit more, but I can see them easily getting into the top 10 this year. Thanks, guys.